Appreciate it.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Inside Edge Network, Cleveland Browns and NFL pregame show, brought to you by LPV Productions. I'm your host, Chad Bryan. With me, as always, are my friends, Ryan Mossor and TK Dandridge. Ryan, TK, what's going on? Good morning, guys.
Morning, buddy. Ready for some Browns football?
Hey, I'm ready for some Browns football. TK, you ready for some Browns? I know you're ready for some Browns football, right?
As always, you see what I got on today. Crispy jersey. Hoping for back-to-back wins against NFC North teams. It's something we haven't done in a while. Hoping to see the best today.
Yeah, just back-to-back wins is something they haven't done in a while, period. I mean, yeah, it's crazy to think that they're already coming off a win. That's pretty awesome.
Right.
Hey, Twan Hampton says top of the morning. Top of the morning, Twan.
What's up, Twan? How you doing, buddy?
Yeah, thanks for joining.
What's going on?
What jersey you repping, TK?
I've got the 07 Braylon Edwards jersey.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Did you drop it while putting it on, or?
Actually, I dropped it a couple times before I put it on today. So, yeah, little butterfingers going on today. But
I was gonna say that's that buttery smooth Braylon Edwards. Hey, listen, before we get going, we got to give props to the Cleveland Guardians real quick. We got to go baseball. I know it's a football show, but we got to talk baseball for just a minute, man, because listen, the Guardians are in the midst of pulling off what could be, well, I mean, it's going to be, if they pull it off, it's going to be the greatest divisional comeback in baseball history.
Oh, they pulled it off. Didn't they already? They clinched the playoffs, right?
They clinched the playoffs, but they have not clinched the division.
Oh, you said division. I'm sorry. Yeah, wild card.
Yeah, that's okay. That's okay. Yeah, the playoffs are clinched. The worst they could do is the sixth seed as a wild card. Yep. But they could be the third seed, as the division winner. But on July 8th, guys, the Guardians were 15 and a half games down, right? The Tigers were cruising toward a divisional an easy divisional title. It was a
easiest one they ever got.
Yeah, it was a foregone conclusion. I mean, they were going to win the division. The Guardians had other thoughts, though. And then fast forward all that time to last night, right? Bases loaded, bottom of the ninth. 2-2. I mean, maybe not exactly the way that CJ Kafus dreamed that this would happen.
That doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. Walk-off hit by pitch brought home Petey Halpin scored the winning run and clinched a playoff spot for the Guardians. I mean, when it looked like they were dead and buried, they came back. They've clinched the playoff spot, and now it all culminates in today. They first pitch is 3:10, I think, today against the Rangers. The very, very last day of the season, we got who's going? It's Patrick Corbin is going for the Rangers. The Guardians will hand the ball to Logan Allen. Logan Allen's 8-11 with a 4.14 ERA. Mm-hmm. He's been, a little up and down, but he's had some pretty good starts. His last start against the Twins, he was lights out. I think he threw 8 shutout innings. And, if they can get another outing like that, it would just be really great to see the Guardians clinch the division after being 15 and a half games down. No one's ever done that before. Yeah,
I mean, they're down like 9.5.
Now, really quick, Chad.
Yeah. Right. They looked good 3 weeks ago. Yeah. Go ahead, TK. Sorry.
If both teams win today and go 88-74, that would mean that we win the division, correct?
Yeah. All the Guardians have to do is win, and they're in. They will absolutely win the division. They just have to win to take care of business. Yeah.
Yeah, I think the Guardians own the title.
Okay, I was confused there for a minute. Yeah.
Yeah, they won the season series over the I almost said the Lions. Wow. We're going to talk about the Lions, but not right now. Interestingly, we are talking about another professional Detroit sports team. But yeah, they do own that season tiebreaker over the Tigers. So they won that season series. So good luck to the Guardians. If you're watching, it's going to be you're going to have to tune in before the end of the Browns game. Depending on how that goes, maybe that'll be easier. I don't know. If the Lions start doing Lions things, then maybe that'll be a little bit easier to switch away from the Browns game and go over to the Guardians. But go Guardians! I hope they do. I hope they pull that off and win the division.
Absolutely.
So
in the playoffs.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it feels like a team that could the 21 Braves that could kind of come out of nowhere and not even really be. I mean, the Braves are probably the worst team in the playoffs that year and won the World Series.
Yeah.
So you never know. It's just, you cross
Got to
your
make it
fingers.
there.
Yeah, you hope for good things. You get in and anything can happen, right? So go Guards. Let's get to this week, the week 4 matchup with the Lions. Let's talk about that. It feels really weird to say the Browns are coming off a win. I don't know why. It just feels really strange. Andre Schmidt booted a 55-yard field goal, right? Last week as time expired to beat the Packers. 13-10. That was pretty cool. Schmidt made all 3 of his kicks in the game. He had a 35.
Lake Forest, Illinois in the house.
There you go. Yeah, he had a 35-yarder, hit an extra point. And for all that, he was named the AFC Special Teams Player of the Week. It was actually, I believe, the first time the Browns have had a special teamer named the AFC Special Teamer of the Week since Dustin Hopkins, the guy that Schmidt replaced. That was back in week 7 of the 2023 season. So, but this week the Browns are on the road to face the Detroit Lions, who are coming off a 38-30 win over the Ravens on Monday night. That was a big win. That was a fun game to watch. It was the same Ravens, by the way, that beat the Browns a couple of weeks ago, 41-17. So I don't know, buckle up and hold on to your hat, I guess. You never know what could happen. And TK, you and I talked about it yesterday, right here on the Inside Edge Network on our show, Legal Formation. I told you the Browns should be prepared to be mooned in this one. Not what you're thinking at all. I found a really weird stat. Listen, okay, so tonight, whatever you want to say, the moon will be in the phase of the moon will be a waxing crescent moon. Okay, for those of you that are into lunar things,
compared to waning.
Right.
Yes, moon phases. Right. We're gonna have a whole show about moon phases right here on the Inside Edge Network. We're gonna bring it to do that. But listen, over the last 2 seasons, the Lions are really good. When the moon is in this particular phase, when it's a waxing crescent moon, the Lions are 10-1 over the last 2 seasons. That actually
is the craziest stat I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah, isn't that weird?
That's crazy.
So look out. A lot of all lunacy aside, there are other things. Sorry, okay, bad joke. There are other things that really don't go for the Browns here. As bad as the Lions have been over the years, they lead this all-time series 19-6. They have 19 wins over 6 wins for the Browns. Isn't that strange? And the Browns are not good in Detroit. They're 1-13 on the road in the Motor City. So
wow.
it doesn't bode well. We can say that. But last week didn't look good either. Right? You're playing one of the best teams in the NFL, and we said it was going to have to get a little weird, and it got weird. We had a blocked field goal and a late interception, came back from a 10-0 deficit to win 13-10. So who knows? By the way, the last win over Detroit for the Browns was all the way back in 1983. Bryan Sipe was the guy in that one. He still may be the best candidate to be the starting quarterback for the Browns.
Only Browns quarterback to throw 4,000 yards.
Yeah,
Chad,
right?
my mama was in college.
Hey,
come on now.
Hey, I was 4 years old. I didn't watch that game. I did not watch it. But yeah, he threw 4 touchdowns in that game. They won 31-26 at the old Pontiac Silverdome. You guys remember watching Barry Sanders run wild there? That was a fun place to watch a game.
Oh,
I never actually went there, but that was a cool place to watch on TV. So I don't know. Where we want to start. Let's talk about last week, because let's bring good vibes into the day, right? We could do that. We can bring good vibes in. So the Browns, we talked about it. They entered the fourth quarter, down 10-0, right? Schmidt hit the 35-yard field goal with about 3:45 left in the game to finally get them on the board. And we didn't know it at the time, but that would kick off not only just the scoring for the Browns, but the madness that would ensue,
right,
that led to that improbable comeback. I didn't see it coming. I didn't expect it. We called it. Ryan and I, we both said the Browns would lose big. Yeah. TK, man, you called the victory last week on the show. Ryan has been really good. Ryan Mossor has been really, really good at calling the score, but TK had it last week, right?
You did, brother.
Listen, I make mistakes just like anyone else, but just something in me just felt like they were going to rise up to the challenge and make something happen. I didn't know when. I didn't know how it was going to look. I definitely didn't expect it to look like that. But, hey, man, they did it. They did it. They got it done. It was improbable. It was goofy. It was scary, but it worked out.
Yep. Well, it's spooky season. It's almost Halloween, so I guess scary is apropos for that. And we did say it was going to have to get a little weird, and it got weird, right? Like that fourth quarter was a little strange. They were
definitely.
That game came complete with rumors all week, and TK, you and I talked about it yesterday on Illegal Formation, again right here on the Inside Edge Network, that people were accusing the Packers, and I don't know if it was ever really like a high level accusation, but there were some rumors that the Packers may have been involved in and some match fixing, right? That they threw that game against the Browns in some way, but I don't think there's anything to that. Sometimes where there's smoke, there's fire, but I think that was, I don't know about that. A little weird. I remember the Packers were dead set on going undefeated. They talked about it the week before coming into the game. So it seems like everybody wants to talk coming into the Browns. When they play the Browns, everybody wants they have something to say.
Right.
There's no shortage of that this week, and we'll get to that in a moment. But first, let's talk about the injury report. We got to talk about it because DeJuan Jones went down, unfortunately, with a season-ending injury. He had surgery this week for an LCL tear. He also had a hamstring avulsion. I had to Google what a hamstring avulsion was earlier this week. Apparently, that's when the hamstring tears away from the attachment point on the bone at the back of the pelvis. That sounds incredibly painful.
Yeah.
So not only the LCL knee, but the upper hamstring injury. I'm sorry, what's that?
From the back of the pelvis, you say?
Mm-hmm.
Ouch.
Yeah. So we're gonna start with a little bit of pain this morning, unfortunately, but we're gonna hopefully end in joy and comfort later on in the day. But yeah, that's sad to see Big Thanos go down like that, man. I mean, I was, he had a rough couple of weeks heading into it. We talked about the heat exhaustion and having to pull him out of the game to cool him down, and I just took an unfortunate hit to the knee there, and it unfortunately had catastrophic results for him. So. I don't know. The Browns signed former Raiders starting tackle Thayer Munford Jr. from the Patriots practice squad, rather. To kind of help shore up the line. I don't know how you guys feel about that. I'd feel a lot better if Bill Callahan was in town to get him up to speed.
Yeah.
Ryan, how you feeling about Thayer Munford Jr.? Is he going to be able to contribute right away or no?
I mean, I liked him in college. Obviously, I'm a Buckeyes fan. He's on a practice squad for a reason. Obviously, you say he was with the Patriots. They just drafted Will Campbell, so offensive tackle there obviously was covered. So maybe they just had him stashed, and we'll pull something out of him that we saw in potential, and we get that on the field. I'm really nervous about this offensive line today, this year, going into next year. I mean, injuries are piling up already. I mean, we don't know Jack Conklin. He's any given Sunday, he's going to be hurt for 2 months. And then, like I said, last week, he made over $80 million with the Browns so far and has barely really played in any significant snaps. And then, next year I tweeted out last week, we have, Joel Bitonio, unrestricted free agent, probably going to retire. Ethan Pochik is an unrestricted free agent. We have Wyatt Teller's an unrestricted free agent. And then we have DeJuan Jones hurt him on our left side and Jack Conklin on our right side. Next year is crazy, like the amount of pieces we could or probably are going to lose on the offensive line. And it's really scary right now. So.
Yeah, you would have to think that the Browns are looking to, I would assume, pair whatever else if they're looking for a quarterback in that first round with that second pick in the first round. You would think they're looking for a tackle there, right?
There's plenty of scenarios. I'll go over the scenarios with those picks later too. I have that.
That's fair.
But they should. There are some premier tackles and coming out next year, and two Utah tackles that are really really good. There's Caden Proctor from Alabama is really good as well.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see, but I feel like it's kind of negligent for. As much as the draft has been great this year, the first 4 picks look like they're solid hits, but pretty negligent not drafting any offensive linemen, knowing what's going to happen next year, let alone knowing the injuries that we usually obtain on the offensive line. To draft 2 running backs and 2 quarterbacks later in the draft, you think that he should have supplemented, or allocated different positions for those picks instead, but we'll see. It looks pretty bleak to me. So,
yeah, for sure. APJ, do you guys think they trade for a tackle this year? I think they have to look. I think they have to look at that, right? If nothing else, just for depth purposes. And TK, I was just going to ask you. Appreciate the comment, by the way, and appreciate you watching as well. TK, I was going to ask you. I think next year's draft for the Browns, unfortunately, now could be pretty offensive line heavy. I don't want to say unfortunately. I just think that sometimes I know people want to see weapons come in, right? You want to see everybody wants to see them draft a quarterback and a wide receiver and these game-changing weapons, but you can't use any of those guys if you can't keep them upright. You got to keep a quarterback on his feet in the pocket. You've got to give a wide receiver time to go down and try to get open, right? If you have less than 2 seconds to throw the ball, it doesn't do you any good. So do you think maybe in the first round they pick a starter, they pick an impact guy, hopefully like a Joe Thomas kind of guy, and then you think like maybe depth in the second and third round. I mean, you've got to be looking interior line, tackle. I mean, unfortunately they're looking all over the place, right?
Yeah, here's the scenario for me. Here's what I honestly think needs to happen. If we're going to talk about the draft, it needs to be offensive line heavy. Offensive line, wide receiver should definitely be the focus. No more quarterback talk for right now. You have two guys that were extremely successful in college, and you don't know what either one of them has to offer. We need to see what they have to offer. Even if those kids do get in sometime during the season, you would need a full season to be able to completely and correctly evaluate both of these guys before we even start to dabble with the whole quarterback thing yet again, because you got two kids that you drafted in 2025, and you really want to give off to your fan base that you're going to draft someone else in 2026. I understand some fans may be excited about that. I sure as hell ain't. Invest in this offensive line, get some talent along the perimeters, and let's fix this thing from the bottom up and see what we got in these two kids before we go spinning the Ferris wheel on the quarterback carousel. Once again, I'm telling you, we're going to hit 80 before 2030 gets here.
Oh, my God.
The way we look.
Don't say that.
The way we look.
Not 80. Right now we have an 80-year-old back there in the pocket. Don't say that. Don't say that.
This is ridiculous.
That's bad. That's really bad. So, well, okay. Well, we've and it feels like I got to say one more thing. I just and by the way, I wanted to I put a comment up from ABJ again. He said we're doing a great job. Love the show.
Buddy.
Hey, we love you watching, and we love we appreciet it, man. We really do.
Appreciate you, man. Thank you.
That means a lot.
Jay gave me my first opportunity for podcasting, so I appreciate you a lot.
There you go. Let's think about the Browns are suddenly just in like this like precarious situation. We've talked about the offensive line, all the money that's been allocated there, and not a lot of production, right? Now it feels like they're in this situation where they have too many holes to plug to really get significantly better in 1 year. You've got this defense this is a Super Bowl defense. But I mean, I'm sure you guys have seen the meme on social media where it's like, a drawing of a horse, and it's like the back of the horse is beautiful, right? And it's like the defense. The middle's pretty good. It's like the special teams, and then the front is like, worse than even worse than what I can draw. And that's the offense, right? Yeah, it's bad. But it feels like that's where we are right now. I mean, it's just like how do you find the artist that can come in and make the right changes to the to make that horse look complete, so to speak? That's a weird. Really weird. I don't know, whatever. But yeah, what do they do with the offense? I mean, how are they going to like you said, TK? I mean, do you draft 3 or 4 offensive linemen and hope you hit? Andrew Berry doesn't have a great record there. He doesn't have a real good track record. So I don't know. I mean, are they looking for another quarterback? We'll get to that a little bit later in the show. I'll talk to you guys about some quarterbacks that could possibly come out in the draft next season. I'm tired of doing this. I'm tired of talking about this, right? Like, I just wish we were in that like Patriots mode from the Brady years, or even the Steelers mode, or the Ravens mode, where they plug guys in and they fit the system, and they just come in and contribute.
Absolutely.
It's frustrating. Whatever. Well, like I said, we've talked about enough negative things. I was going to bring positive vibes in, so let's just talk about what went right last week for the Browns. How did they beat the Packers? I mean, the Packers came in, like I said, one of the best teams in the league. We thought they were going to go. Well, they thought they were going to go 17-0. It seemed like they might have a legitimate shot to go 17-0. But of all teams, it'd be great, by the way, if they go 16-1 with their only loss to the Browns. Well, the Browns are like 4-13. Whatever. They gave Jordan Love fits in this one, right? Sacked him 5 times, 7 quarterback hits. He's just 18 of 25 for 183 yards, a touchdown, an interception. Unfortunately, our very own Ryan Mossor's Pookie, Tucker Kraft, only had 3 catches for 29 yards in that one. But defense. The real thing, I'm sorry?
It's a good defense.
Great defense.
Very good.
Josh Jacobs, 30 yards on 16 carries, 1.9 yards per carry. The Browns' rush defense,
big one.
Absolutely unbelievable. I don't know. I mean, who is it? Is it Mason Graham? Is it Myles Garrett? Is it Carson Schwarzenegger? Is it just a total team effort? Is it Jim Schwartz? I mean, guys, how are they doing? I mean, how is this defense so good? I know they got some great players, but fundamentally speaking, like, what are they doing that's so amazing right now? That, I mean, they're the best defense in the league by far, I think. Not only by numbers, but just with the eye test. They passed the eye test, right? Bryan, how are they doing this, man?
Yeah, I mean, it starts up front first. I mean, I think the addition of Mason Graham was just invaluable to this team. I mean, I was saying it way before the draft that if we were going to trade out, I was hoping that we could trade back top 5 and draft Mason Graham, and I hit on that. And I'm very excited about it. The guy is mean, tenacious, and opens it up. For the rest of the defensive line, Myles Garrett's feasting right now. I mean, I think he has 4 sacks in the season in 3 games, and I mean, it all it's helping the entire defensive line out. I mean, Carson Swester, the next level beast. I think he's going to win Defensive Rookie of the Year. I think or at least a top candidate. Guys flying around. I mean, that sack he had last week was crazy, dude. He's an animal. And then the corners have been playing well. Denzel Ward is out there, so he played healthy this week, and hopefully he continues to play healthy. And they're flying around and having fun. I think that's the most important thing. They're confident in their abilities. And what's nice is, last week we asked if the Browns can keep the game under control and possibly pull off the upset. And I mentioned, it's going to defend on this Browns defense. They're very good. However, I didn't think they could carry the game or the team for the entire game. They're going to have to create turnovers. They're going to have to flip the field for the offense before they get too tired. And that's exactly what they did. I mean, Grant Delpit had the interception and returned it inside the red zone for the Browns. They blocked Shelby Harris blocked the field goal, the go-ahead field goal, and returned that. And then
Ward took it first.
Mm-hmm. And then I wanted to bring one other thing up. This isn't with the defense, but I just thought you were talking about good things that happened last week. Yeah. At 12 seconds left in the game, on the 45-yard line, they execute an incredible play, I think. I mean, obviously they get the ball to David Njoku on the 37-yard line, and that was great. But the setup for them to snap that ball, they had 9 seconds left to snap that ball, and I couldn't get any statistics on how long it takes. Usually, the average time it takes to snap the ball to set up the field goal. But I looked at 20 different scenarios, and it took anywhere anywhere from 12 to 16 seconds, and they did this in under 9 seconds, 2 seconds left. Crazy. The fact that they obviously drilled that to where not one single person knew exactly where to go. And that place won the game. That single play. I mean, there was a lot of plays. Obviously, you usually don't say one single play wins the game, but to be able to execute that play on offense with a struggling offense, the entire season so far was a masterpiece. It was beautiful.
I agree with you. And I don't use the word giddy very often, but I've been kind of giddy since last week about that, because those are the areas where, our Cleveland Browns, that's where they typically drop the ball. Braylon Edwards joke. That's just where that's normally where that's where they mess up. That's where they can't. It's you had it right there in your hands, but it slipped and you couldn't get everybody. 7 seconds is unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable.
Amazing.
Right. That they were able to pull that off. It was crazy to see. It was it gives me chills a little bit, because we're just not used to seeing that here from the Browns.
And then even after that, the 55-yard field goal from the rookie who struggled in week 1, whoever half the city wanted out, an impeccable turn of events in the last 4 minutes of that game. It was amazing.
Yeah, for sure. It's nice to see that redemption for Schmidt. That was great.
Yeah.
So I want to ask you, because there's a lot of things that I'm wondering if the Browns are going to be able to repeat from last week, right? So I don't know if you guys heard this week, everybody, like I said, everybody seems to want to say something about the Browns coming into the game, right? So they asked Lions offensive coordinator John Morton what he thought about the Browns' rush defense. You have to ask about it, right? You've got a decent rushing attack. I mean, you're going up against the Browns. I mean, it's worth noting that the Browns are the best run defense in the league. Mm-hmm. And he said, and I quote, "I don't think they've seen a run game like ours yet." Obviously, there's some implication there that he thinks that I don't know. He didn't exactly say they're going to be able to run all over the Browns, but I mean, you can infer. You can. I don't know. I mean, you can read between the lines and kind of pick apart what you think he might have meant or what he meant to say there. I mean, obviously, listen, I don't expect him to not be confident in his own team. That's number one. That's the paramount thing for all athletes, coaches, anybody who's involved in sports. You're going to be confident in your own ability, right? You're going to exude that confidence. You're going to you're going to put it on display for your guys. If you're a coach, you don't want to. What's he going to say? Oh no, we're not going to be able to run against these guys at all. We're going to throw the ball 60 times, and I hope we don't get golf killed out there. Myles Garrett, pin your ears back and just come after him because we're never going to run. Like, you're not going to say that, right?
Yeah.
So I think sometimes people make a little bit, too much out of nothing there. But do you think that? Jim Schwartz kind of fired back a little bit too. Do you think that adds any fuel to the fire for these guys? Athletes are what do I? They're just notoriously they use anything, right, for motivation. Anything, any slight little thing that can be taken as an insult or a slight to your abilities. You're going to use that. You're going to turn that around, and you may not say it externally, but you may internalize that and use it as put it on chip, put a little chip on your shoulder and maybe play a little bit harder. Do you think that fires the Browns up a little bit extra going into Detroit? They haven't really been good there. All the stuff going against them, and now the offensive coordinator says, well, they have a run game like ours. TK, do you think? You're an emotional guy. Do you think that would? How would that make you feel?
In the grand scheme of things, you can't look at it as more of an offensive coordinator just believing in his guys, having faith in his guys. But as far as being an athlete on the field, this shouldn't be any added fuel to the fire at all. Nothing that John Morton stated was completely disrespectful. Although I do think a little bit more respect is warranted for our defense. But at the same time, he has every right in this world to believe in his guys, and they have been productive. Obviously, we talked about some of the great offensive lines in the NFL. I've talked about the Eagles' offensive line a lot. Detroit's is very much up there. Of course, we know and love of those two tackles. Taylor Decker, obviously a former Ohio State Buckeye. Penei Sewell is the road grader and refined pass protector from Oregon. He's the best right tackle in the game as of now. And of course, we look at the interior of that offensive line. We have young guys like Christian Mahogany and Tate Ratledge playing very meaningful snaps, playing well too, along with new center Graham Glasgow. So this is just an offensive coordinator believing in his guys. You just have to come with it. You have to say, yo, look, we saw what you guys did on Monday night. We respect it. It was a beautiful effort. We're going to do everything that we possibly can to combat that and stop you guys in your house. We just have to go there and handle business. Nothing wrong with what Johnny Morton said at all.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
I think that it's just a competitive nature. Clearly, Gibbs and Montgomery are playing really, really well. Last week, Gibbs had 22 rushes for 67 yards, 5 catches on 6 attempts for 32 yards, and Montgomery had the monster game with 12 rushes for 151 yards and 2 touchdowns. Clearly he has confidence in his guys. But then our defense, week 1 we limited Chase Brown to 21 rushes for 43 yards and a touchdown. Week 2, Derrick Henry 11 rushes for 23 yards, and then Josh Jacobs 16 rushes for 30 yards. None of those guys are slouches, but our defense held them. It's gonna be a long game. They have a really good passing attack too with Amon-Ra St. Brown and Jameson Williams, Sam Laporta. But our defense battles, man. So we'll see. It's gonna be a fun game.
Yeah, there's talent all over that defense. And I'll tell you what, just on the other side of the break, we're going to get into some of the numbers, just kind of looking at the Lions rushing attack and the Browns rush defense. But again, we're going to take a quick break. Again, you're watching the Cleveland Browns NFL pregame show with myself, Chad Bryan, Ryan Mossor, and TK Dandridge here on the Inside Edge Network. We'll be right back after a quick 2-minute break. All right, welcome back. Again, it's Chad Bryan, Ryan Mossor, TK Dandridge here on the Inside Edge Network, Cleveland Browns and NFL pregame show. We're week 4 already. We're talking about Browns, Lions. And real quick, I wanted to say there is a game actually going on right at this moment. Typically, we don't have a game going on while we're on, but the Vikings and Steelers are playing in Dublin, Ireland right now. Steelers are currently leading 14-6. About 5 minutes ago or so in the third quarter. And I do want to mention also, speaking of early starts, you guys, listen, you gotta wake up with us next week. You gotta have a cup of coffee, eggs, steak and eggs, whatever you're gonna do for breakfast. Enjoy it with us because we're gonna be here at 7:30 a.m. because our Browns are gonna be playing in London next week. We'll kick off at 9:30. Listen, just join us. We'll be here, like I said, 7:30 for the pregame show. I think it's gonna be a blast, man. Waking up and getting ready to go right away, right? Like you get the game out of the way fast.
Gonna be so ready.
Yeah, and especially if they're coming off back-to-back wins, it could be kind of exciting too. I'm sure the Lions are gonna have something to say, but that's okay. Well, as we talked about just before the break, we wanted to get into some of the numbers because that when you're looking at this matchup, you got to look at like what strength versus strength, right? It's like the Lions running game, the Browns run defense. The Lions are the 4th ranked rushing offense in the league right now. As far as rushing yards per game, they're about 150 yards per game, 149. And again, in that victory over the Ravens on Monday night, they ran for 224 yards. So that's, obviously a prolific running attack that the Browns are going to see. But the Browns, I mean, they should be ready. They rank first in the league in rushing yards allowed per game at 57.3. So the question to you, and I'll ask you, Ryan, what do you think? Malik Collins, Mason Graham, and company, and Carson Swetcher is going to be involved in that too. Can they limit David Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs? They got to keep them to short runs, right? You can't let them break off a bunch of big runs because I think the key is once the Lions get into that play action game with Goff, if you let him have any time at all, if you have to commit any extra assets at all to the run, you could be in some big trouble against the Lions. They rip off some big plays. Do you think they can keep that run game in check this week? Are they? Is this who wins this strength on strength battle, Ryan?
Yeah, I've been thinking for weeks now. Is they're gonna bend and possibly break, but this defense has just showed up every single time, and they're relentless. Like I said, Chase Brown 21 rushes, 43 yards. Derrick Henry only 23 yards in a single game. Derrick Henry and Lamar Jackson, who everyone thought the prime rushing duo in the NFL, 23 yards for Derrick Henry, Josh Jacobs 30 yards. Time and time again, this defense has proved that they are able to stop the premier backs in this league so far after 3 weeks. It's going to be a major challenge. They have 2 really, really, really good running backs there in Detroit. And it's going to be hard for me to say that they're going to be able to stop them just because of the other weapons on this team. Like I said, I'm going to say Brown's a top 5 receiver. Sam Laporta is a very, very good tight end. Jameson Williams, a very good deep threat. Mayotron, Isaac Tesla, as I call him, Mayotron. He one-handed catch after one-handed catch. He's only got a few years, but he's looking really, really good. This team is very solid all around. I fear that, unfortunately, like you said, they'll get into the play action. The passing game is really good, and they might struggle a little bit. But I've been wrong time and time again this year so far. So I'm gonna give the Lions the upper hand on the rushing game, just because, like I said, they can spread it out so much that defense is gonna have to worry about much more than just those 2 running backs. But don't hold it against me because this Browns defense against the run is very, very good. So
yeah, TK, what are your thoughts on this?
I'm going to go ahead and give the edge to the Browns' run defense on this one. Granted, like I had just explained earlier, Detroit has a wonderful offensive line, but I do think that this is a defense that can win repeatedly simply with just rushing 4. I do think the 4 guys that we have on that front line, obviously the 2 guys in the interior, Malik Collins and rookie Mason Graham, Isaiah the right end, and of course, how can we forget about our all-pro, all-world defensive end manning that left end spot, or right end spot, my apologies. So, I definitely think the Browns' rush defense can win 4. That's what we're going to have to do with a lot of this game, rush 4 don't want to get too blitz happy, especially with the offensive weapons that they have. They literally have a trash chest of guys that they can go to at any given moment. You don't want to fall asleep. You don't want to overcommit to the run. You don't want to overcommit to the pass. You don't want to overcommit to one thing in general. So I would the slight edge, even though, like we just said, it's the best rushing offense in the NFL, one of the best. Love David Montgomery. Jahmyr Gibbs is definitely taking his place as their number one running back. Didn't think I'd see that happen as quickly as it has, but it has. But I'll definitely take our defense over their rushing offense.
Okay. One thing that worries me is if you look back to when the Lions played the Packers, the Packers obviously won that game, but Sam Laporta was good in that one. He caught 6 balls for 79 yards, and I think if you look at the Packers defense, look at the Browns defense, they're kind of similar, right? In the ways that they deploy their pass rush and things. But yeah, like you said, the Browns game is to rush for man-to-man on the outside. That's their game. And if the Lions are able to force them to kind of, like I said, just deploy more assets toward the running game, I think if they can pull the Browns out of what they want to do, you might see Laporta have another kind of a big game. I mean, 6 balls for 79. It's not a huge game. But I think you can see Sam Laporta catch 8 to 10 passes today for, close to 100 yards. If Goff is looking to, I don't, there's not a whole lot of opportunity against this Browns rush defense to really throw the ball deep. Unless, like I said, you're able to pull them out of what they want to do with the running game. So I think it all hinges on that. I think if the Browns stop the run, they're in pretty good shape. But we'll have to see. We'll have to see. I think. Wow, what do I want to ask you guys? I don't know. Let's do this. Let's go. Do you guys want to go around the NFL? Sorry, I had to do it again. I'm really sorry. Let's talk about some of the matchups around the league. We'll get about halfway through this. Like I said, right now, the Steelers are playing the Minnesota Vikings. That's going on in Dublin, Ireland.
Steelers just scored another touchdown too. So
yep. As I said, I just extended that lead, so that's looking like another win for the Steelers. What are you going to do? The defense is starting to wake. I think TJ Watt's starting to play a little better.
He sucks.
Yeah, he just had an interception earlier. He's starting to wake up. He heard us talking crap.
Yeah.
He heard us talking crap. Well, you guys finally think Miles is better now.
Yeah. This is probably the first week he hasn't watched our show. He's actually playing right now, so I'm sure it's the first week he hasn't watched. But let's start with let's just go around the league. Let's start with the Washington Commanders, Atlanta Falcons. All right. Atlanta's at home on this one. They're a 2.5-point favorite at home. Start with Ryan. What do you think? Commanders, Falcons.
Yeah, I mean, Jaden Daniels is out, their star rookie quarterback from last year. Terry McLaurin out with a quadricep injury. He's seeing a specialist to see if there's something they can do. It doesn't look good, probably, if they're seeing a specialist. Yeah. I mean, the Commanders are going to be out without 2 of their best offensive weapons and have a rookie running back starting as well because also Eckler Torres Achilles, Bill Krosky-Merritt starting there at running back. And they're going against the 2nd overall defense in the NFL and the 13th overall offense. I mean, I think that the Commanders struggle today because they're lacking their main pieces. I think Debo probably will play well today just because he's the only option on the team right now. But I'm going to take the Falcons and that really good defense.
Okay, TK, how you feel about this one?
I'm going to go on a limb and take the Washington Commanders in this one. I just think personally the Atlanta Falcons are a complete mess. Week 2 was a precursor for me. Granted, they had won the game against Minnesota. They had another young quarterback in there in J.J. McCarthy who was struggling and not playing well at all. They had to have 5 field goals in that game, courtesy of Parker Romo. And week 3 was just an absolute abortion. They all looked abysmal as a unit. Michael Penix Jr. was 18 of 36 for 172 yards. 2 brutal interceptions, including the pick 6 by Shao Smith-Wade in the 3rd quarter. I just think this team right now is a complete mess. They need to figure out what their identity is, who's going to be the feature ball handler in this offense other than Michael Penix Jr. Are we going to feed Bijan Robinson more? Is Kyle Pitts finally going to get back to that 1,000-yard territory that he once was as a rookie? It was a shame. We were waiting for him to blossom after his rookie season in which he had 1,000 yards. And he has gotten worse, it seems, every single year. It's been up and down as far as the production goes. But yeah, Falcons are a mess right now. I do expect Marcus Mariota to hold down the fort as the backup quarterback. I expect Debo Samuel to go absolutely hammer time on that Atlanta Falcons defense, especially with the way they played last week. Going to go ahead and take the Commanders.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, you bring up a lot of good points, TK, and Ryan, you did as well. I was a little surprised at first that Atlanta was only a 2.5-point favorite. Like you said, all the injuries, the Commanders.
Yeah, that
But
line's too low.
Yeah, and I think you're right though. I think the Falcons are a little bit of a mess. This one's kind of a toss up in my eyes. I don't really know. I mean, anything could happen in this one. I'm going to go with the Falcons simply because they're playing in Atlanta. They're at home. I'll take the Falcons in this one. And speaking of teams that are kind of a mess, you got the Saints going on the road to play the Buffalo Bills. There's been some late movement in this line, by the way. It was 14.5. Now the Bills are favored by 15.5. So I don't know if that tells you the way the betting is going or whatever. I don't think I even have to ask you guys who you're going to take in this one. But TK, you tell me how much you think the Bills are going to win by, and that's whatever.
I think the Bills take it easy on the Saints at Orchard Park. I don't see more than 3 touchdown gap. Give me the Bills 34-13.
Okay. Ryan, what do you think?
I mean, yeah, it's the biggest spread for a good reason. I mean, the Saints aren't a serious team. They're clearly playing for a 2026 draft pick and, the future quarterback. Tyler Shuck isn't the guy, obviously. They took in the second round, and Spencer Rattler is just, a plug-and-play guy until they can find the real guy. I don't think I really need to go into it. I think the Bills are going to destroy the Saints this week. So,
yeah, not much to say here. I think it's going to be I mean, I don't know. I think the Bills could put up, 40, approaching 50 points on the Saints. Josh Allen's just been so good. And they finally found a little bit of a running game. So it makes the Bills a little bit more dangerous. I think the Bills win big in this one. Let's go Carolina at New England. New England's a 5.5-point favorite, playing in Foxborough. New England's a team that I just keep, kind of waiting for them to take that next step. And they're just, I don't know, they sort of stumbled out of the gate a little bit. They're okay, but they just don't look as I thought they would look really, really, really good this year to start the season. They've looked okay. Let's start with you, Ryan. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, Panthers played well last week. And the Falcons had the second-rated defense in the NFL after 3 weeks, and they beat the crap out of them. Patriots have played 3 pretty bad teams: the Raiders, Dolphins, and Steelers so far this season. They lost to the Raiders, who look bad. The offense line is awful. They barely beat the Dolphins, who are not good, and they lost to the Steelers, who I thought has a pretty bad defense, but looking like this week they're playing better. So nonetheless, I thought that they could have beat the Steelers. I like this Patriots team. They have a young, promising roster, a head coach in Vrabel who I like. However, I don't think that they're completely clicking so far this season. Yeah. The Panthers have a good running game, a decent quarterback, and a rookie rookie receiver in Ted McMillan, who I'm really, really high on, and I think we'll start scoring touchdowns to just bring his value even more higher. I'm going to take the Panthers here. I think that the Patriots are a questionable team with good players until they can prove otherwise. So,
yeah, fair enough. TK,
Panther.
Do I even have to ask who you're taking? I mean, these are your boys.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. I should have made you wait. I should have made you wait to talk about the Panthers. That's my bad, by the way.
You're all good, man. Not a problem. Yeah, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna double down and go ahead and take the Carolina Panthers. Love what they were able to do last week defensively. It looks like Ejiro Evero, as their defensive coordinator, has figured out that personnel. You got a few more snaps out of Latham Ransom at that safety position last week. You got a better performance from both Trevin Wallace and Christian Rosenboom. J.C. Horn is still adding to his resume as a second corner. He's been excellent this year. And the Patriots can't hold on to the ball. Four fumbles last week, including 2 for Ramondre Stevenson. Antonio Gibson had a bad one. And, of course, Drizzy had the final one. I think that was somewhere towards the top of the fourth quarter somewhere. Didn't result in any points. They were able to keep that game close for a majority of the time. It was actually 14-14 halfway through the fourth quarter. So it was definitely a close game. But until they get that ball security issue cleaned up, it's going to be hell for them. Give me the Panthers.
Listen, I like Mike Vrabel. We keep talking about ex-Buckeyes. And speaking of ex-Buckeyes, they have a guy right there on that roster, the Patriots do, that didn't fumble the ball one single time his entire college career. So if they need some ball security, maybe that's the way they go. Maybe that's the route that they go.
Maybe that's the way.
But yeah, there's no Bill Belichick, there's no Tom Brady, there's no Snow, there's no Tuck Rule. Give me the Panthers. I like the Panthers too. Chargers, Giants. Yeah, Tuck Rule, right? Chargers, Giants. The Giants are at home. They're at home, and that's in East Rutherford. They're 5.5-point underdogs. The Chargers are 5.5-point favorites on the road. TK, Chargers, Giants. How do you feel about this one? I mean, what are your thoughts?
As much as I would love the Giants to do some home cooking for the sake of Brian Daboll's job, I'm going to have to lean with the Los Angeles Chargers. Defense is entirely too nasty. I have the image of how they confused and basically locked down the entire Raiders offense a couple weeks ago on Monday Night Football. Not to mention they came away with a tough win against the Denver Broncos. I just think the Giants, much like the Falcons right now, kind of in a messy situation. Don't know what's going on with leadership. We're not really sure who's going to be on this team for the rest of the season, let alone what's going to happen for next year. So, you go ahead and you throw the rookie quarterback out there. I think Jackson Dart is going to be exceptional, just not today. Go ahead and give me the Chargers.
Yeah, I think Jackson Dart is in a tough spot here against that Chargers defense and against Jim Harbaugh. We've talked about it. I mean, he can build a team. He can coach a team. Despite all the stuff, the peripheral stuff with Jim Harbaugh. Give me the Chargers on the road against the Giants. The Giants, it feels like they've been in flux for a while now. Mm-hmm. It's hard to get out. I mean, listen, we can speak to we can speak from experience on this. It's hard to get out of that, right? When you're stuck in that, you're mired in that, just you're spinning your wheels over and over again. That's where the Giants are right now. I think Jackson Dart could be a good player, but like you said, not today. This is an interesting one for me. Okay, this is a weird matchup. Not necessarily the matchup, but just the history of it. Okay, Eagles, Buccaneers, right? Our old guy, Baker Mayfield, he's our guy, right? Tampa Bay's at home. Philadelphia is a 3.5-point favorite on the road in this one, but Jalen Hurts hasn't been good against the Buccaneers in his career. He's 1-4 against Tampa Bay. TK, does he snap that? I mean, the Eagles have won a ton of 19 out of the last 20 games now. Maybe 20 out of 21. I don't even know where we are right now. But like I said, Hurts hasn't been good against the Buccaneers. TK, what do you think? Eagles, Buccaneers.
I got Tampa Bay today. I definitely think Baker has a hallmark game today. That Eagles team just hasn't been the same as a recent. They do not look dominant whatsoever. I think the only instance of dominance that I really saw in that game against Los Angeles, or any game for the Eagles this season, is when they blocked those 2 field goals. And obviously, seeing Jordan Davis run down the field to ice the game was absolutely beautiful sight. Big men touchdowns are always great. But I do expect the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to handle business at home. I don't expect this to be a blowout, but it shouldn't be that close either.
All right. Rumbling, stumbling, bumbling to a win. Ryan, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I think this game is going to be awesome. 2 very exciting offenses going against average defenses should make for a very fun, high-scoring game, I think. I mean, the Eagles receivers seemed to finally get going last week after 2 weeks of struggles. A.J. Brown has 6 catches for 109 yards and a touchdown. Yep. Devonta Smith, 8 catches, 60 yards and a touchdown. And although Mike Evans is out this week, it seems like Chris Godwin, they said he's going to play, and he's actually going to get a extended role and just go out firing today. So, I think he's going to come to the rescue, and he's finally going to be able to do well after that ankle injury. It's going to be a shootout, I think. I think that the Buccaneers are going to win here. Baker's at home. Baker's looking really good late in the fourth quarter. Emeka Egbuka is a star, I think. I don't even think star in the making anymore. Dude's just a star. And then Bucky Irving's a very, very solid back. Eagles, great team, but I think that, Baker's going to settle on the field late in the fourth. So,
okay. We lost TK for the moment here. We'll get him back here shortly, I hope. But yeah, the track record aside, I mean, it is what it is. I want to say, like you said, the Eagles are kind of starting to figure things out offensively a little bit. We know the offensive line is very good. The defensive line is very, very dominant at times for the Eagles. I think the thing to keep an eye on is if it's a 1-score game and Baker Mayfield gets the ball last, you got to watch out. He's been very good. You might have the 2 most competitive quarterbacks in the league going at each other today in that one. That's kind of exciting to think about. That's a fun matchup.
Yeah.
I'm going to take the Buccaneers. I'm going to take the Buccaneers at home to go against the 3.5-point line, the favorite for the Eagles there. I like the Buccaneers in this one. I think Baker Mayfield does get the ball last. And I think it's going to be a fun game to watch. 34-30, something like that. Let's get TK back in here. Hey, welcome back, my friend. How you doing?
Sorry, partners.
That's okay. He had to step out. He was just looking at the Panthers website, going through the roster. No big deal. I'm sorry. I'm never going to let that go. I don't know why. Let's move on to the matchup because I don't know what I'm talking about. Titans and Texans. We've talked about CJ Stroud and the regression and all the reasons around it. There are physical reasons for it, right? It's not just CJ Stroud forgot how to play football. We know that. But, man, Houston, I'm looking at it, they're a 6.5-point favorite at home in this one. It's like we keep expecting CJ Stroud to figure it out and play a little bit better. TK, since you left and came back to us, why don't you tell us what Titans, Texans, who you have in this one?
Give me the Titans for the upset out in Houston. Me personally, I know I said earlier in the season that I do trust the Houston Texans. I really don't know if I trust them anymore. Too many injuries. You've got folks that are regressing at the speed of light, it seems like. Remember a couple of years ago, we were talking about C.J. Stroud as possibly a top 10 quarterback. I understand things have happened. He has lost definitely a regression in offensive personnel. Obviously, losing guys like Laramie Tunsil. Tank Dell is still rehabbing the horrible leg injury that he suffered last year in Kansas City. Obviously, Nico Collins is getting back to full strength, and Stephon Diggs is now a New England Patriot. So I get it. These things are going to happen. It's not going to be as peachy as it once was before, but we're still looking for something else to click and to possibly change in good favor for the Texans. And to be honest, I just don't see it happening this week. A lot of things going on in Tennessee right now. Brian Callahan is very much on the hot seat. Yes, I understand. How could that be in less than 20 games? The NFL stands for not for long, and I think we all know that and we all respect that. So Brian Callahan's going to have to make something happen quick. You got to think Cam Ward is showing us week after week why he was the number one overall pick. I think his teammates are going to help him put it all together this week, and they get a close game, a close win out in NRG Stadium in Houston. Give me the Titans.
Okay. Yeah, I like the Titans too. I just don't trust. I hate to say this. I just don't trust CJ Stroud right now. I don't trust everything going on around him. I don't know if he's just, with the, like you said, with the personnel issues. I don't know if he's not seeing the field very well. Just doesn't feel comfortable with what's going on around him. I'm really not sure what it is. I think the quarterback position is such an enigma. It's so
right.
I don't know. I mean, it's a really hard position to project. It's a really hard position to nail down. Even when you have some success, it's hard to sustain that success.
Absolutely. And when you think about personnel, you got to take a good look at that offensive line. It was very much, for a number of years, Laramie Tunsil and the rest of the Houston Texans, very David Ruffin and the Temptations-esque type of line. Of course, they drafted cats like Juice Scruggs and Kenyon Green in past years that haven't necessarily worked out. Titus Howard is the acting left tackle right now, I believe. So it's a lot of shuffle, a lot of change, not necessarily for the better. So that can also contribute to the regression of CJ Stroud, but it's just a lot going on. I don't know if I trust this franchise as much as I may have trusted them a couple of weeks ago.
Fair enough. I think a lot of people are starting to feel that way. I mean, every time CJ Stroud goes out, it gets a little bit worse, right? The numbers go down a little bit more. It's alarming. We'll see what happens. And a team with a quarterback whose numbers are numbers. That's a fun word. Numbers are not getting worse. The Colts. You got the Colts on the road against the Rams. No more AR-15 taking plays off. I'm never going to let that go either. I got to mention it every time I talk about it. That was wild. So anyway, Colts Rams. Rams are a 3.5-point favorite at home. That one surprised me a little bit. I'm not going to lie. I'm going to go back to you, TK. What do you think on this one?
This is going to be a fun and very close game. I think these are two complete football teams. Obviously, with the emergence of Indiana Jones in Indianapolis, it's definitely an intriguing story, but I'm going to take the Los Angeles Rams at home. I definitely do think they are the more complete team. You see exactly what they were about when they went up 26-7 against the Philadelphia Eagles last week. However, got to see if they can maintain that lead and hold serve, not be so conservative at the end of games. When you're up like that, you definitely have to continue to put the foot on the gas. Hope to see more out of Matt Stafford. Obviously, Devontae Adams, Puka Nacua. I want Kyron Williams to get going more. Going to need a lot more of him. Can't just be slinging the football 40 to 45 times a game. We've talked about that. So now I think if the Los Angeles Rams can have a little bit of a balanced offense, obviously that defense is going to bring it. If they can get that down pat, I think they should beat the Colts. It's going to be a close game, but I got the Los Angeles Rams winning this one.
Fair enough. Ryan, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, Daniel Jones and Jonathan Taylor have led a surprisingly elite offense so far this season. I mean, they're averaging over 34 points per game, third best in the NFL. They really have a really good rookie tight end in Tyler Warren, who I just will talk about for the rest of the season. He's really good. And decent wide receivers in Pittman, Downs, and A.D. Mitchell. Not to mention they have a really good defense, ranking 7th in the NFL after 3 games, too. The Colts also haven't turned over the ball yet this season, which is really, really good after 3 games with Daniel Jones playing. Rams offense is really good. Matthew Stafford has nearly 740 passing yards and 5 passing touchdowns. Obviously, Puka Nacua currently leads the NFL in receptions and receiving yards, so he's the best receiver right now. And Kyron Williams is no slouch. He's a very good, reliable running back. The Rams defense is 5th in the NFL after 3 weeks, and although they lost to the Eagles last week in a really, really weird, obviously, there's a few games last week that ended in blocked field goals for touchdowns and stuff like that. So obviously the Browns on that side of the win last week with that as well, which is really cool for once. But they still held the Eagles offense to under 300 total yards last week. 2 very good teams, and the Rams are at home, but I'm going to take the Colts. I think they're going to pull off the upset today. So.
Okay. The Colts right now are giving me Peyton Manning to Marvin Harrison vibes with the lack of turnovers and the offensive prowess. I mean, it's I haven't heard anybody yelling Omaha, but other than that, it kind of gives me like the same, a little bit of deja vu, a little flashback, I guess. I'm going to take the Colts on the road in this one. The Rams. I'm taking the Colts. I think they might surprise the Rams in this one. How about Jacksonville at San Francisco? San Francisco, we talked about it. Went from the toughest schedule in the league last year to the not toughest, the easiest schedule in the league this year, and it shows, right? The results are there. They're playing really well. They're beating. They're a 3.5-point favorite at home against Jacksonville. Jacksonville's a team that we have a vested interest in here as Cleveland fans, right? We want to see them not do well. No offense, but we don't want to see them win. So Ryan, what do you think? Jacksonville, San Francisco.
Brock Purdy returns after missing 2 games with a toe injury, so he's going to be starting today, which is really cool. Christian McCaffrey looks to be completely healthy and is playing very well. His rushing numbers are decent, 176 yards, but he also has 25 total catches in 3 games, which is invaluable. It's really, really good. Trevor Lawrence is playing terribly. It's affecting his entire team. Brian Thomas Jr. looks pedestrian after an incredible rookie season so far after 3 games. Travis Hunter looks to be lost out there right now, which is, crazy for us to be the benefit of that trade for once, on the right side of it. I still have faith in Hunter. I think he just needs to pick one position there, and I think that should be receiver. The only positive spot for the Jaguars offense right now is Travis Etienne. He looks to be declining after his really good week 1 performance, but he still is a top 10 running back right now.
Sure.
Jaguars do have a decent defense. They're 10th overall, allowing 292 points per game. However, I think the 49ers defense is 4th overall. I think that the 49ers are going to win here big because I'm biased, and the Browns on the Jaguars 2026 first-round pick, and I'm going to pick them to lose every single game this season. So
Fair enough. TK, I think I know how you're feeling over there. You're showing us your brown scarf. You're not picking Jacksonville, are you?
Oh God, no. Listen. The Jacksonville Jaguars are going to pull out almost every stop imaginable to get folks to like them. I just recently saw the new Adidas commercial with Trevor and Travis, and of course Denise Williams' 1984 hit "Let's Hear It for the Boys" playing for the background. And, of course, it hit me in the feels. I'm an 80s fan and all that good stuff. And they look happy together, and they should be the new top flight duo in the NFL. But, not my problem this week or the week for the rest of the season. Give me the 49ers.
Yeah.
Brock Purdy's coming back. That should restore some order in the passing offense. Mac Jones did a very admirable job of holding down the fort in his 2 starts. But it's definitely going to be nice to have BP back under center, rolling and Mac and everything for that offense. I definitely think San Francisco gets a good win here, and they go to 4-0.
Yeah, Lawrence and Hunter are not giving me Peyton Manning and Marvin Harrison vibes right now. I will also pick the 49ers. Yeah, I'll pick the 49ers. Okay, now here's a fun one, right? This is a fun one. I've been waiting to get to this one for a while. We've got the Baltimore Ravens going on the road into Arrowhead to play the Kansas City Chiefs. The Chiefs have struggled. The Chiefs have struggled mightily. They don't look like the Super Bowl, the 3 Super Bowl appearances in a row Chiefs at all. The Ravens are looking pretty good, but they just lost to the Lions on Monday night. So a couple of teams that are kind of maybe like licking their wounds a little bit. I mean, the Ravens still are the Ravens, but the Chiefs, I don't know if they're the Chiefs anymore. Ravens Chiefs. Baltimore is a 2.5-point favorite on the road here. It's weird to see a team favored going on the road into Kansas City. It's really strange to see that. We know Patrick Mahomes for the first time in his career has lost 3 games in a row with the Super Bowl in the first 2 games of the year. Let's just talk about Ravens Chiefs. I'll start with you, TK. What do you think?
Start with you,
TK. Man, I almost wanted to go ahead and say this game was going to be a tie, but I'm going to go ahead and give this to the Kansas City Chiefs. I definitely think the home field advantage is going to serve in their favor. Definitely one of these times. Heck, what are we going to do when we're faced against adversity? And their adversity is starting the season at 1-3. I don't think they want to do that at home. I think they find out some way to get it done against the Ravens today. Give me the Chiefs.
Okay. Ryan, do the Chiefs find a way, or do the Ravens come in and I don't know, redeem themselves from the Monday night loss to the Lions?
I mean, Patrick Mahomes has struggled a little this season, but with all the injuries around him, who can blame him? One good thing is Xavier Worthy is set to return today with a shoulder injury, so he will be playing. The Chiefs' running game is subpar this year so far. Pacheco, Kareem Hunt, Brashard Smith, all split carries, and all are really not effective. Travis Kelce's also been pretty average, 10 catches, 134 yards, and a touchdown in 3 games. Chiefs have the 11th best defense compared to the Browns, not the Browns. The Browns are good. The Ravens are dead last in defense right now after 3 weeks, allowing 415 yards per game and 12 total touchdowns this season, which is crazy for a defense that everyone, even myself, thought was going to be very, very stout and very good. The Ravens have also struggled on offense this season with Lamar Jackson, and he's obviously been the top quarterback in the league so far, but the running game has been really ineffective. Very surprising, especially with Derrick Henry. I don't think he's fallen back or stepping back at all. I think they're gonna figure it out, and he'll perform better with weeks to come. It's important to note that Patrick Mahomes is also 5-1 against Lamar Jackson all the time. That's an important stat. So Lamar could be in his head. Both teams are 1-2 on the season, which is fantastic. That makes me so happy. It doesn't make sense to me that the Chiefs are underdogs at home. That's where Mahomes thrives. He's got his top receiver back until Rashee Rice comes after week 7 or after week 6. Obviously, give me the Chiefs. Make the Ravens go 1-3. That'd be fun.
Okay. I don't know who I want to be 1-3 more. I'm not sure. I don't even want to pick with my brain. I want to pick with my heart in this one. I think I'm going to go. I think you're right, though. I think the Chiefs do find a way to win at home. And I think they will do that. I'm going to pick the Chiefs. I think the Ravens start one. We didn't see that coming, did we? Man, we didn't see it coming. Anyway, not at all. So this is kind of it's funny. We had the really good matchups, and now we have Bears Raiders. Right. I mean, whatever. It's in Las Vegas. Vegas is a 1.5-point favorite. Vegas is always the house is always going to win. The Raiders are a 1.5-point favorite. I don't know. I mean, Ryan, do we care? Who wins this game?
I mean, Caleb Williams was the best quarterback last week against the Cowboys. He played very well, 19-28 for 298 yards and 4 passing touchdowns. Rome Odunze, a top 5 wide receiver right now, after an okay rookie year. Looks like he broke out his sophomore season. Over 200 yards and 4 touchdowns on the season. 1 touchdown at least each game, which is crazy. Ben Johnson looks to have his team rolling right now. I mean, I don't really love the Bears, but you have to respect what they did last week, and hopefully I think they'll capitalize on that. The Raiders have an absolute awful offensive line, ranking 26th after 3 games, which is sad news for Ashton Genty, who, is everyone says is generational. I don't know. He kind of reminded me of Rashard Penny a little bit, but hey, what do I know? We'll see. And he's having no favors, obviously, with that offensive line. Last week, Geno Smith was pressured 20 times and sacked 5 times during the game. Not good at all. They can't get the running game going. Their passing game has taken a major step back, even with Brock Bowers, who was phenomenal last season. He had 38 yards in the last 2 games total. Not very good. I actually, as much as you think this is boring, I think the Bears will play well. I'm going to take the Bears and think that they'll pick up where they left off last week. It could be a fun game, actually.
Yeah.
But the Raiders.
Well, yeah. Listen, and I think TK's so disinterested in this game, he stepped out on us. He doesn't even want to call it. But listen, I think, like he said, that the image of Geno Smith throwing those terrible interceptions is still, and it's still burned into my mind as well. And it's not like he has a whole lot of time in the pocket. Even moving around in the pocket is dangerous because no one's holding a block. The offensive line's been terrible, like you said. I like the Bears in this one. I can't believe the Raiders are favored at home. I know they're at home, but I'm really confused by that. I just can't believe the Raiders are favored in this game. I will take the Bears. I think the Bears may win kind of big in this one.
Yeah.
And hopefully we'll get TK back in here soon. But I guess we thought maybe at the beginning of the season this is going to be a big matchup. Green Bay at Dallas, right? The Sunday night game. That Dallas defense is terrible.
Yeah.
They're terrible. I don't know. I don't know any other words to really describe how bad that defense is. They're just terrible. Green Bay is almost a touchdown favorite, 6.5-point favorite going into Dallas, into that's wild, into Jerry world, Jerry's land, whatever you want to call it. I don't know. Green Bay, Dallas. What are your thoughts on this one? I think I know.
Yeah, the Packers are coming off a bad late fourth quarter loss to the Browns defense. Dak is in trouble this week. The Packers have a top defense, and not to mention a guy named Micah Parsons, who is most definitely looking to send a message to that old man, Jerry Jones, that, said he wasn't worth the contract that he wanted. This Packers team is probably embarrassed and pissed off about what happened last week. They were controlling the game the entire way until the last 4 minutes, and Cleveland stole a win. That defense stole the win, and I'm happy they did. Not to mention Dak's going to be without CeeDee Lamb, and CeeDee Lamb is a top NFL receiver. And, he's had a little bit of struggles so far this year, but still it's CeeDee Lamb. You have to respect the guy. The Cowboys have, like you said, they have an awful, awful defense. They average 397.7 yards per game and have allowed 11 total touchdowns this season. Jordan Love is ranked 8th QB after 3 weeks with 663 yards and 5 touchdowns. The Packers are going to destroy the Cowboys this week.
Yeah, I think they win big. I agree with you. I think they win really big. Boy, the Cowboys they're not America's team anymore, are they?
No,
they're sure not. I don't know who takes that title, but so this week again we have 2 Monday night matchups. I think that's kind of fun. Let's go. Well, this is 2 terrible teams. Hey, we got TK back in. TK, congratulations! You completely you avoided having to pick Bears Raiders. That's a good job out of you. I don't know if you had to run an errand real quick or not, but that was great timing.
Gentlemen, I do apologize. My internet connection has been sloppy Joe this morning.
Okay, don't apologize. Don't say sloppy Joe. You're making me hungry.
Sorry.
You're good. While you're back in here, why don't you give us your thoughts on the Packers and the Cowboys real quick? The Cowboys are at home. Packers are a 6.5-point favorite going on the road. What do you think? We talked about how bad the Dallas defense is. What do you think?
As much as I would like to make a big deal about this, it should be one of the easiest wins in the Packers' history. It really should. This shouldn't take much time at all. Give me the Packers on the road.
Yeah. They've got so many reasons to come in angry. As a team, as certain individuals, Micah Parsons, like we said, I think there's a lot of chips on a lot of shoulders on this game, and I think the Packers do win big, like I said. We just talked about 2 Monday night matchups. One is the Jets and Dolphins. TK is going to step out on this one too because it's a bad matchup. I don't know. Jets Dolphins. I don't know. The Dolphins are a 2.5-point favorite at home. Tua and a 0.5-point favorite. Okay.
Oof.
Yeah, I'm sorry. That's really bad. What do you think, Ryan? Jets Dolphins. Is it even worth Monday night. Oh wow, and we didn't get a. That's crazy. What do you think?
It's going to be a boring Monday night in general. I mean, Jets Dolphins. Dolphins suck. Justin Fields is coming back off of a clear concussion protocol, so look for that offense to look a little better. I'm going to give the Jets the win. I'm just streaming against the Dolphins. They just are not a good team right now. They played okay last week, but I just I think the Jets with Justin Fields. Justin Fields is a dual threat, and if he can stay healthy, I think he will have a promising season this year. Garrett Wilson looks really good. They have Breece Hall. I think. Give me the Jets. Yeah. Okay. I'm not really interested in this game too much, though.
I'm not either. I admit it. I just don't care. TK, Jets, Dolphins.
All right, Jets, Dolphins. I'm going to go ahead and go with the New York Jets. I definitely think that the Jets have a lot to play for this week. I definitely think last loss against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers was definitely tough, hard to stomach. You definitely want to come in with your head on fire. I think if we're thinking about this logically, the New York Jets are in a better team space than what the Miami Dolphins are. So I think for that much, the Jets are going to come in more focused, and they should get a good start, and they should finish as well. Give me the Jets.
Fair enough. Yeah, I'm taking the Jets too.
Yeah.
For a second there, we had two TKs. Okay, I'm done. The other Monday night matchup, another terrible matchup because Burrow.
Another terrible joke.
Terrible joke. Yeah, I mean that's what we're all about here. Maybe that's what I'm all about. It's a dad joke. Bengals, Broncos. That's in Denver. Denver's an 8.5-point favorite. Again, TK is going to leave on that one because it's a terrible matchup. Boring Monday night. What a boring. I mean, a doubleheader on Monday night, and who's even going to watch?
Yeah, right.
I don't know, Ryan. What do you think? Bengals and Broncos.
I mean, give me the Broncos. I like Bo Nix this week. I think he'll play well. I mean, like I said, I'm going to stream anyone against the Bengals defense as well. They're awful. I on my fantasy football podcast this week, the Commissioner Couch, we talk about sleepers and creepers. So sleepers, players we want to play this week, and creepers we don't want to play this week. And as a creeper, I said something controversial and mentioned Jamar Chase to be a creeper this week. He's the 12th ranked receiver on sleeper, and we both know they're not gonna bench him. You should start him, but personally, I think you actually should bench him. Last week, Jamar Chase had 5 catches on 6 targets for 50 yards with backup QB Jake Browning. That's not going to do anything for me. I mean, Jake Browning is looking really, really bad. He has 3 touchdowns and 5 interceptions, 381 yards. Just not going to do it. So, I mean, even though you have this offensive star in Jamar Chase, even T. Higgins, Chase Brown, they're all struggling right now. And I'm not going to pick anyone else on this offense at all. I'm going to take Denver this week, but it's going to be not a very fun game. So.
Yeah, and you got to wonder if the Bengals are good. I mean, do they look to add it's hard to add a quarterback, though. I mean, it's not like there aren't even 32 guys who are really even, reputable starters in the league. So what do you do?
The only guy I can think of is Jameis Winston, who could be possibly fun, but, that's about
it. At least it's fun. No matter what happens, at least it's going to be fun, right?
Yeah.
I'll give you that. TK, what do you think about this one? Bengals and Broncos.
Going to be a long Monday night.
Gonna be a long Sunday morning.
Yeah, definitely. So give me the Broncos. Neither team looks great right now, if we're being quite honest. The Broncos got away with one at home against the Titans. They got hosed in Indianapolis a couple weeks later. Obviously losing that heartbreaker against the Chargers. But at the same time, Cincinnati looked downright disgraceful in their 48-10 L versus the Minnesota Vikings, who don't look good at all right now. So go ahead and give me the Broncos to shape up that offense, get things working, and come away victorious on Monday night. I'm taking Denver.
Yeah, I'm going to take Denver too. I really like Bo Nix. I thought he was the best quarterback at the time out of that draft class. I expected him to be, I guess, a little more this season, but I think he's going to get a chance to have the ball in his hands a lot in this one because I don't think the Bengals are going to spend very much time with it, in their possession. So yeah, I think Bo Nix could put up some big numbers against the Bengals. I mean, like you said, 48-10 loss last week. Could be similar. I just think the Bengals are in a tough spot. I mean, what do you do with the Bengals? It's a throwaway season now, right? With Burrow out 3 months. I mean, and they refuse to add anything around him anyway, other than receivers, right? Like they won't give him an offensive line. They'll barely pay their defensive line. The Bengals are they're in a spot too.
I think the
Right,
only
just like the
move that they
Browns are
made
in a
on their
spot, the Bengals are in
offensive
a spot.
line this year, the only move that they made on their offensive line this year was signing Dalton Reisner, the left guard, like a week before the season started.
Yeah.
So, still pretty much the same old, same old. Amarius Mims hasn't had that great of a year. Dylan Fairchild is in and out of the lineup, battling injuries. Ted Karras is Ted Karras. Orlando Brown Jr. is Orlando Brown Jr.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the
There you
defense
go.
is awful. I
Fair
mean,
enough.
Shamar Stewart, the rookie first round pick, took forever to sign because so the culture there. What are you adding on that too? The guy is compared to Myles Garrett as in terms of athleticism, but he's not right in the head, I guess, right now. So we'll see. So just a lot of weird stuff going on. They didn't even.
Yeah.
There was rumors that he was going to go back to college. So just not really a good locker room environment right now for the Bengals.
Yeah. I mean, it's not Peyton Hillis joining the CIA, but yeah, I mean that's terrible, right? Your first round pick is going to go back to college. I don't know. It's speaking of messes. Listen, we're gonna take a quick break. On the other side of the break, we're gonna talk about maybe if one guy on this roster might be the key to fixing this whole Browns offense and kind of getting this machine rolling. But while I got a minute here, just again, reminder, we're going to be live next week, next Sunday at 7:30, right before the Browns 9:30 kickoff in London. So be sure to join us then. Again, have breakfast with us, a cup of coffee, whatever you want to do in the morning. I mean,
7:30, folks. I know it's early, but listen, we didn't come up with the schedule.
It's not our fault. Yeah, it's a 9:30 kickoff. If we're going to be here 2 hours before, we got to start at 7:30. So you might as well be here with us. And again, I do want to remind you guys to go to Instagram and go to X and go to YouTube, go to Facebook, and search for the Inside Edge Network. Look for the logo that's up in the top left hand of your screen there, and follow us on all social media platforms. Be sure to spend some time kind of moving around between everybody's shows. There are just some fantastic shows. Again, we talked about it yesterday on the show. You and I did, TK. The Side Hustle podcast, Jersey Chasers, just the Commissioner's Couch. I mean, there are so many. Our show, Illegal Formation. There's so many good shows on this network and so many talented people. I think you can't go wrong spending a ton of time just kind of searching around and seeing what there is to offer. I think there's something for literally everybody. And that's fantastic. So again, Inside Edge Network, just look for us, Inside Edge Net at all socials is basically what we are. Look for the logo in the top left hand of your screen. And again, when we get back on the other side of the break, we're going to talk about if one guy on this Browns roster could be the key to fixing this offense when we come back in 2 minutes on the Inside Edge Network. Hey, welcome back, everyone, to the Cleveland Browns and NFL pregame show right here on the Inside Edge Network. A quick story. I don't have a lot of details on this, but this is the kind of stuff the NFL probably doesn't love to get out. I don't know if you heard, Steelers backup quarterback Skylar Thompson was jumped and robbed in Dublin. Suffered some minor injuries. And you got to wonder out loud a little bit. And we didn't plan to talk about this. Obviously, I just saw this come across my desk. But you got to wonder out loud a little bit if that's gonna. I don't think it limits the NFL, doing these international games. But you have to wonder maybe if it makes them have second thoughts about some of this, right?
Yeah, I mean it's an unfortunate.
I wouldn't say maybe a second thought. Sorry, Kyle. Or sorry,
No.
Ryan. I didn't mean to cut you off with that. Sorry about that.
Good.
I really don't think it would limit the opportunities for international games. I just think we might need to heighten the level of security. Definitely take. Did they state what time this happened? Was this like in the morning?
No, like I said, I don't really have a ton of details. Yeah, not a ton. Who knows? He could have been out on his own doing something. I mean, who knows? Who really knows?
Right.
Yeah.
Maybe just tighten up the security. Maybe have a better understanding of our surroundings. I just this is unfortunate that this happens, but I definitely don't think because the NFL all they see is dollar signs anyway, so they're not. They may take a little bit of time to go over it, but overall, it's like okay, it was just one player. They're probably going to throw in the fact that he was a third stringer, so they might sweep it under the rug. People are like that. People are just like that, especially when money is involved. So
I was going to say,
I
would
don't
they pay
think
more attention to it if it was Aaron Rodgers, right? Would they? I don't know. Whatever.
Okay.
Ryan,
that game would have been canceled right then and there.
Right.
That game would have been canceled right then and there. We ain't playing nothing today.
Bring the boys back home.
Yeah, I'm with TK. I think they just need to up security. I mean, this is a foreign country where none of these guys really know, what's around them and the surroundings and stuff. There should be security in general already. Or, I mean, these are grown men, but I mean, when you're with the team and stuff like that, maybe there should be some sort of, place where, you can be, or the buddy system even, I don't know, but probably not the best idea just to be walking around alone in a foreign country when you're supposed to be with your team. So yeah, just heighten security. I don't think this is going to prevent them from doing anything. They, like TK said, they're going to want to make their money. So, and they're wanting to, expand this game internationally as well. So they're not going to stop for Skylar Thompson getting moved. So.
Yeah, unfortunately, I think Skylar's not on the top of the NFL's priority list. I'm sorry to say that, but it's just true.
Horrible, but
it's horrible to say, but it's true. It's the truth. Okay, so before the break, I said, is there one guy on this roster that could be kind of the key to fixing this whole offense? And I want to ask you, Ryan, could Quinshon Judkins, former Ohio State running back, be the guy that kind of kickstarts this offense and makes the Kevin Stefanski machine kind of start rolling? We've talked about it. The whole thing is predicated on the play action pass. If you can't run the ball, you have no play action. Suddenly the Browns can run the ball a little bit, right? Like Judkins' burst is it's sudden, it's brutal, it's very like he's made some things out of nothing. He's gained some yards where he's had really nothing and done it on his own. We talked about the offensive line struggles. I mean, that's going to be a hurdle, right? Obviously, you're going to have to get better play on the offensive line. But with Judkins back there individually able to make some plays, Ryan, do you think this offense can get going a little better now?
No. A very promising rookie running back will not be the key to fixing this offense. Although he may occasionally give us some good opportunities to score and possibly, put us in opportunities to win. Unfortunately, our offensive line is going to be our downfall. The loss of DeJuan Jones we're going to feel that loss. Even though he has been struggling and has been, sitting out occasional reps because of heat exhaustion, that still is big Thanos. And now we have just some journeymen on our tackle positions. I think we're several pieces away from fixing this offense. Quinshon Judkins is not going to fix it. So
several pieces sounds bad.
Several.
TK, I tried to bring some positive vibes in. Ryan wouldn't let me. What do you think?
Sorry, realistic.
That's okay. I appreciate your honesty. For one.
Hey, listen, man. I am not mad at Ryan at all for telling me the truth. This offense is a long way from being a prominent one. And the biggest focus, we've been talking about it for the past couple of weeks. It's got to be that quarterback, man. Joe is not pushing the ball down the field whatsoever. Not that he has much time to do anyway, and even when he does, we're still having issues with the drops on the perimeter, i.e. with guys like Jerry Jeudy and Cedric Tillman. So
says the guy wearing the Braylon Edwards jersey, by the way.
Yeah.
Come on.
I know, the damn nerve, the audacity of me. Anyway, I definitely think we need more out of the quarterback position. I understand he's 40. I understand this is going to be his last year. Sir, you wanted to be here. We wanted you here as well. But you wanted to be here playing these games. We need you to channel some of what you once were. It doesn't necessarily have to be all of 2023, but we need a little bit of it. You went up against Ray Lewis and Ed Reed every day in practice for 11 years. I expect you to act like it, sir.
Yeah, well, maybe he's exhausted from that. I don't know. Hey, listen, you said it. It's got to be the quarterback, right? It's got to be. Trust me, at 40, you start to get tired. You said it's got to be the quarterback, though. So listen, I don't. There are some interesting developments when it comes to quarterbacks. First, we always have the draft to talk about because we're Browns fans. But Monday, September 29th, that's tomorrow. That is the last day that Deshaun Watson technically has to be on the IR. I feel everyone wanting to groan a little bit. I mean, if this thing gets really bad and they're not ready to, I'm sorry.
Trade him.
Trade him.
To who? Who's going to take that contract?
Nobody's going to take no one at all. They're going to have to trade him to like the I don't know, live golf squad or something.
The
like somebody,
CFL, yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, he's out of here. But listen, if they don't want to go to the kids, and if this thing with Flacco gets bad, TK, I mean, could we see a return of Deshaun Watson to this thing, to this team? This thing, I call it the brother thing. Can we see him back? I mean, is that a possibility?
Probably one of the few times you will actually hear me say go against the veteran, because I don't want to see him. Go ahead and get the kiddies out. Let's see what we got. You drafted two of them. We're not going to sit there and let them grow fur forever to where they get all moldy and now things don't work anymore. And now they have to go somewhere else that'll actually knock that mold rust off of them so that they can become valuable professional players. But yeah, this is going to be an option. This is going to be a situation where I say, the hell with the veteran, go ahead and throw the kiddies in. Veteran hasn't done anything since he's been here. Sure, he had that 6-3 start, but he definitely missed a couple games in between there. Battled some injury concerns before the big one actually took him out. I think the first one was the rotator cuff that we have been talking about all 2023. Is his shoulder okay? What exactly is wrong with it? How much is he going to be able to throw and things of that nature? Right. So, yeah, go ahead and get the kiddies ready. Let's see what we got so we don't do too much talking about this quarterback thing next year.
Yeah. So if the Browns lose today and they lose next week in London, I almost said in Ireland. They lose next week in London. I don't know why they would go to Ireland if they're supposed to go. Maybe they'll just go to the wrong city. Who knows? I don't know. But do you think it's time to maybe start Dylan Gabriel? Or do you think listen, Dylan Gabriel's not going to get that first start in London on the road. There's no chance that's going to happen. Right?
You talking to me?
I'm talking to whoever wants to answer.
Ryan, you answer me. I don't know. It depends on how bad it gets today. If it gets to the point where we're getting even more of the unbearables, the bad interceptions, the 57 checkdowns, the taking 5 minutes to get out of the pocket.
By the way, if we see 7 checkdowns and 38 incompletions, by the way,
yeah. If we get more of that, then kid, hey, listen, you're gonna have to go through customs and get your first NFL start in England. That's
maybe
just gonna. That's
such a bad idea. Maybe he's so
far
away from things that he's just completely removed from the whole situation. Maybe it's not a bad idea.
Exactly. Hey,
whatever. So Ryan, I'm going to talk to you now since there was some confusion. I am talking to you, Ryan Mossor. I'm going to give you a list of names really quickly. I'm going to run through them. I'm not going to, spend too much time on this. But these are guys, if they were to declare for the draft, that the Browns could conceivably have on their radar for next year if they're going to draft a quarterback, if they get a top pick. These are the names: Garrett Nussmeier, Lenora Sellers, John Mateer, Arch Manning. I think he's going to stay in college, but whatever. Fernando Mendoza at Indiana, in case you don't know.
Oh, I know.
Dante Moore from Oregon. Sam Levitt, Arizona State, right? Drew Aller, Penn State. We know him, local kid. We don't know him, but Cade Klubnik. No. And Carson Beck. And that's the end of the list. Some people have Nico Yamaliava on there, and they've compared him to Justin Herbert. And I don't know if people just don't watch football.
Oh, no.
But that's not a comparison. I mean, do you watch the game with your eyes closed? I don't know. Anyway, any of those names excite you on that list at all, Ryan?
Yeah, I think the top quarterback coming out. First off, I think all quarterbacks for next year have really not separated themselves right now. It's really, just a mix of a bunch of guys competing who aren't doing super great, but have promising, hopefully promising seasons a little ahead of them. I really like Lenore Sellers out of South Carolina. Yeah. He's big. He's fast. He's currently my top quarterback option. Another one I really like, he's actually hurt right now, is John Mateer from Oklahoma.
Yeah.
Reminds me a lot of Baker Mayfield. Fernando Mendoza from Indiana. He's probably right now the Heisman favorite. He's been playing really well. He played last night as well, really well. Carson Beck is another guy from Miami who's been playing well. And another guy I want to mention that you didn't. All the guys obviously there. I think Arch Manning, I think you're right. He'll go back to 2027. Yeah. This guy out of USC, Jaden Maiva, who I think is really good as well. So we'll see. But, this quarterback situation, the future of it's just really, really weird. I mean, it's nebulous. As Andrew Berry said, I mean, that means vague or ill-defined for any Steelers fans watching right now. So, we have two rookies from 2025. As TK said, I mean, they're absolutely going to have to get on that field this season and take meaningful reps. Yeah, that's a funny joke. Sorry.
I love it.
If they do not get on the field this season, this is a major Andrew Berry blunder. We owe it to the team and the fans to see what Gabriel and Sanders have this season. And if they don't get on the field this season, then they're not going to play. Barry, I've been critical in the past, but like I said, he drafted really, really well the first 4 picks: Mason Graham, Swester, Junkins, Harold Fannin Jr. He's leading the team in receiving after 3 games, which is crazy. And then he took Gabriel and Sanders. Not to mention, greatly, he acquired that Jaguars first-round pick and, the 2025 second was turned into Junkins. Now with those 2 first-round picks, logic tells you that Andrew Berry is going to be choosing a quarterback. I'm sorry, TK, but he is going to be choosing a quarterback at the top of the draft in 2026. Yeah. Ideally, he would play these rookies, and hopefully they get, they don't have to, but right now they're not playing. I could see 4 total scenarios for the quarterback situation. 1, a rookie quarterback emerges, and this year, and he leads the team into the future, and we don't have to draft a quarterback next year. We can use those picks on an offensive tackle. We could use on Caleb Downs and just fortify that safety room, and just our defense would be so much better. 2,
that's fun.
The rookie QBs don't get a proper opportunity, but will win some games. We will win some games, taking us out of contention of a top pick. Then can we combine our 2 first-round picks to take a quarterback high in the draft next year? I don't really see that happening, but.
That is a possibility, though, yeah.
The rookies do get a proper opportunity. We find out they are not the future. We lose games and pick a QB high in the draft next year. Use the Jaguars, pick the draft. Basically draft the quarterback and then just another high pick, offensive tackle, or I would say. And then finally, regardless of what happens with the QB, we lose, have a top pick. But imagine this, okay? The Browns have a first overall pick with their own pick and 1 in the top 5 of the Jaguars.
Oh my!
I just talked about these quarterbacks. None has really emerged. Some are debating whether to go and just push back a year and declare 2027 because they're making plenty of money with NIL.
Yeah.
What if we traded away our first overall pick for picks for 2027? It's still in the top 5. Draft one of these quarterbacks, that we are hopeful with. To a quarterback needy team, and then we draft a quarterback and another pick, acquire a 2027 first round pick, and then players like Jeremiah Smith, Ryan Williams, Arch Manning, who he's possibly going back to 2027. Lenore Sellers also is possibly going back to 2027. Yeah. My favorite quarterback for this year. So there are plenty of different scenarios with this team where we could still draft a quarterback high, but also acquire picks for the future. If we could somehow get Jeremiah Smith, have 2 first-round picks next year in 2027, that'd be insane. A lot of scenarios there, but like I said, this is very nebulous. There's so many ways to go with it right now because we do not know the answer. So
I agree. A lot of people want to see the Browns take a wide receiver. I don't think that they're ready to do that this year, but if Jeremiah Smith is there next year and you have the pick, you have to take him. He is the probably safest wide receiver that you can take. I do like Ryan Williams a lot, but Jeremiah Smith is a different kind of beast. TK, I know you don't want to talk about quarterbacks. Is there a guy on that list that makes you happy or no?
Not one. Let me just be vaguely clear. There are a number of prospects in this potential draft class. Obviously, Fernando Mendoza and Drew Aller are the big ones for me. Drew Aller wet the bed last night in a tough 31-24 loss against the Oregon Ducks. Mendoza is just a guy that we're just getting hip to this year. So I don't want to necessarily call. Say again.
There was some hype. There was some hype about him coming in, though. I mean,
I do college fantasy football. He played for Cal last year, and he played really well. So
yeah, under the radar out west.
Okay. Well, that's probably why I didn't know. So that's on me. But
TK doesn't stay up late. What do you want from him?
To be honest, it's just these young kids are going to be drenched in the prowess of trying to bring back relevancy to this Cleveland Browns franchise. And
moldy. Yeah.
Exactly. And it's like, listen, you're going to come into this organization. You're going to be asked to be a savior immediately. The first time you throw an incompletion or God forbid you lose a fumble or you throw a pick, you're going to be thrown into the pit by the city, the fans, and you're going to have that weighing on you all season. I know a lot of players really look to avoid franchises that are in need of saviors, somewhat like us, but we managed to make things work outside of that. But yeah, I really don't see anybody in this quarterback class that I really think of looking my future into, especially when we got 2 rookies right now that we haven't seen yet. Like I said, Drew Aller wet the bed. Gabe Klubnik has been absolutely terrible this year. I don't see how you lose to Syracuse by 13 at home. How the hell do you lose to the Orange? This is football, sir. This is
not Jim Boeheim.
This is not Jim Boeheim and Carmelo Anthony. This is a football school that's and hasn't been relevant since the days of Marvin Harrison and Donovan McNabb. Or if you want to go a little bit further than that, maybe Chandler Jones. But I'm just not blown away by this quarterback class at all. Like I said, Mendoza and Aller are the top 2 guys. I definitely think it's a height, size, skill set type of thing with both of these guys because obviously Drew Aller is 6'5", 235. Mendoza 6'4", 6'5", maybe around that area. So 6'5", big guy, big arm, very cerebral, easy to coach. You always love guys like that. But at this point right now, not many of them turn me on. I mean, they played well, but it's just you think of the situation that you got to come into. You're going to have to be the guy. Emphasis on how much you are going to have to be the guy. It's going to be overwhelming. Shador doing all the turning right now. You just wait, baby. You just wait till it's your time to get in. You see what we're talking about. You'll see.
Yeah. I don't dislike either of the 2 guys that we have on the roster now. I'm not sure Dylan Gabriel's the guy. I'm not sure if I don't know if Shador Sanders is the guy or not. I don't dislike him. But yeah, I'm with Ryan. Give me Lenore Sellers.
I will say this real quick.
Okay.
I'll say this real quick. When I saw Dylan Gabriel in training camp, and the struggles that he was having, I'm sitting there thinking, we're going to cut this kid. He's going to get on with somebody. He's going to develop. And this young man is going to be the next Steve Young. I just feel it. It always happens. It always goes down this way. We get someone They don't look the part right away. We get rid of them. They take some time, and then boom, we got an all-pro.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people are worried about the size. I'm not. I've seen smaller quarterbacks. I've seen slower quarterbacks play the position well. I think he'll be fine. Just a matter of time of when it happens. So,
okay. All right.
All right,
Well,
go
I
ahead,
like.
Chad.
I was gonna say I like the North Sellers. Big kid, 6'3", 242. Feels like an AFC North quarterback to me, right? Can run a little bit.
Him a lot.
Yeah, I like him a lot too. But really quickly, we've got about 10 minutes left because we want to get you guys out of here in time to check your fantasy rosters. You know, if you watch the Commissioner's Couch, that's important. You want to win your fantasy football every week. So we got to get you out of here in time for that.
Yeah.
Real quick, Ryan, give me one Browns. Yeah, we're going to go keys to victory. Let's give me one key to victory for the Browns. What do they have to do today against the Lions?
They need to force turnovers like they did, like Grant Delpit did last week. I mean, and flip the field too. I mean, you can't just because you intercept the ball doesn't mean the offense is going to drive down the field and score. You gotta force a turnover and flip the field. That's the only way we're going to win this game.
Yeah, we've seen our offense stall at any point in the field. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
TK, what about you? Give me one Browns key to victory.
Definitely a myriad of ways that we could go with this one, but again, I definitely want to focus on the pressure aspect of this defense, more so being able to rush with 4. I don't want to get too blitz happy, not against this offense. I don't want to leave lethal guys wide open. You got Amon-Ra St. Brown, Jamison Williams, Tesla, Sam Laporta. You even got Khalif Raymond, who's starting to get a little bit of fire in that offense now. There's just too much going on with the Detroit Lions offense. I don't want you guys to be settled on stopping one thing. You guys have got to be versatile. You got to win with 4. Got to win with 4 today. That's the big one.
Yeah, I think one of the keys is going to be stopping the run without committing too many assets to it. I think that's going to be the key. Just you don't let the Lions get comfortable in that play action, let Goff sit back there and pick you apart. Again, you talked about all the receivers, all the speed, all the weapons they have. Laporta in the check down game. I think they have a ton of weapons that if you let Goff get comfortable, you could be in trouble. So give me a Lions key to victory. What do they have to do to beat the Browns? We'll start with you, TK. Just show up.
Got to show folks that you're the best line in the NFL. You got to show folks that you're the best offensive line in the NFL. You got to back up what your offensive coordinator said. You guys have the best offense. You guys have the best rushing offense in the league. Going to have to show that. Obviously, we talked about the 2 tackles. The interior of that offensive line is going to have to get down and dirty with a very physical interior Cleveland defensive line, especially with Mason Graham and Malik Collins. They're going to have to push the pocket a ton. They're going to have to move the line of scrimmage and make holes for both Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery. This game's going to be won in the trenches. This is definitely another one of those games where the trenches matter more than probably anything else.
Okay. Fair enough. Ryan, give me a Detroit Lions key to victory today.
Yeah, going off of that, I mean, they're gonna have to bully the Browns offensive line and disrupt Joe Flacco. Force them to run the ball. I mean, which shouldn't be too hard because our running game is really, it's working and our passing game is not. But this offensive line for the Browns is going to struggle, and the defensive line, as TK said, is really, really good. So they're just gonna have to bully him.
I really hope Brian Callahan gets fired and we can call Bill Callahan and get him back in here. No offense to Brian Callahan at all. I don't, I think he'll be fine being unemployed with the millions of dollars that it'll be fine.
Yeah, right.
It's not like he's losing his source of income there.
That's the only time it's good. That's the only time it's good.
That's it. I think the Lions just have to, I think, just kind of stick with their game and score some points. I don't know that the Browns can necessarily score with them. So I think if the Lions put up about 27, 30 points in this game, I think the Browns could be in big trouble. I don't know that the Browns have proven to us that they can get there. They haven't gotten there. Their one win was a 13-10 win. So that's great for the defense, but the defense can't continue to do this for the entire season, right? You can't carry the team like this. You just can't. So TK, since you picked correctly last week, you picked the Browns to win. I'm going to start with you for your score prediction for this game.
All right, this one's going to be tough. I expect a low-scoring game today. I do expect both defenses to basically rear their ugly heads against one another's offense. We may not completely shut down the Lions' offense, but I do expect it to be stopped.
Mm-hmm.
Give me Cleveland and Motown today. Why not? 17-14.
Okay. All right. I thought you were going to say like 3-2. Okay, Ryan. Ryan, what do you think?
Yeah, I'm gonna go 35-17 Lions. I think that their defense is really good. I mean, comparable to ours, but our offensive struggles are gonna show their ugly head this week. I do think I'm just gonna go out on a limb and say Myles Garrett scoop and score. I'm a strip sack. I think he'll have a defensive touchdown. I'm gonna go Myles Garrett. But still, Lions win 35-17.
Okay. Yeah, I'm thinking I don't know. The over/under on this one is 44.5. I think it stays under that. I think it will be a little bit more of a defensive game than some people may think. But again, I think the Lions are going to score some points. I don't think the Browns are going to be able to score enough points to keep up. I think it's going to maybe Lions 27-10 is what I'm thinking. I hate to pick against the Browns. I hate to win against the Packers, but we'll see what happens. So listen, that's going to be it for us. We're going to get you out of here. Like I said, we're going to check your fantasy roster, make sure everything's up to snuff and you're ready to go and you're ready to beat your buddies or your family, your cousins, whoever you're in the fantasy football league with, your boss, hopefully, maybe, I don't know, whatever. But again, thank you guys for watching. We love doing this Sunday. We love doing this so much. We're going to be up at 7:30 a.m. next Sunday doing it.
Be there early, guys.
Yeah, wake up early, set the alarm, have a cup of coffee, eat some steak and eggs, whatever. Comment, let us know what you're doing. I don't know if you're going to tailgate that early. Join us while you're tailgating. I mean, you can, we can live vicariously through you while we sit here and talk, and you drink a few Miller Lights or whatever for that. Miller Lite. Okay. Anyway, again, thank you so much for watching. This is week 4 of the Inside Edge Network Cleveland Browns and NFL pregame show, brought to you by LPV Productions. Again, just check us out on social media. Go, search Inside Edge Net. Look for the logo on the top left of your screen. Just make sure you like and follow and comment and watch a bunch of shows, man. Again, there's just there are so many talented people with this network that I feel like you're missing out if you don't take a chance to watch a little bit of everything. So again, thank you guys for watching. We'll see what happens. Kickoff is in just about 13 minutes here from Detroit. So hopefully the Browns can buck the trend. 1-13 in Detroit's not great. 10-1 on the waxing crescent moon scares me. I don't know what that means, but whatever. I don't know. Go Browns. And again, thank you guys for watching. We'll see you next week, bright and early, 7:30 a.m. Thanks, guys.